What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm so glad you guys are tuning by, and in today's video we're actually going to talk about exactly how you guys can increase your credit score very fast. We're not going to BS it. We're not going to talk about any other things that aren't really relevant. And another thing is I'm going to talk extra fast because this is about increasing your credit score very fast. So for you to do that really fast and for us to do this in a very fast manner, I'm going to do this in a very fast way too by talking very fast. No, kidding aside, we're going to slow down a bit. I actually found a very good video on Fox Business. This came out pretty recently actually, and they actually have an analyst from creditcards.com, which is one of the affiliate partners that we actually do work with. So Ted Rosman, he's spitting some fire on this. What I'm going to do is play this video by Fox Business Live, and then I'm going to give you guys a little bit more insight, reactions, and things that you guys should also take away from this as well, because there are some things you guys will learn in here that will help you increase your credit score very fast. Play the video.
Welcome back. We are watching your wallet. Credit scores are soaring. America's average credit score in 2019 reached an all-time high of 706, according to FICO. Our next guest knows how to keep those scores climbing. Joining us right now is creditcards.com industry analyst Ted Rossman. Ted, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us some of the best ways to accumulate credit and why you need to get a good score.
The number one factor is paying your bills on time. So do that every time. That part is more of a marathon. Something you can do quickly is to lower your credit utilization ratio.
That's really like I could end this video right there and then we could be good. The best way to increase your credit score, you guys, is just pay off your bills on time, not to have credit card debt. That's it. If you guys do that over time, what happens is that your credit score will increase. But we're going to talk about exactly some ways you guys can do this a little bit faster.
This is part of the second biggest factor.
Explain what that is.
So that is how much credit you're using divided by your total credit limits. So what people don't realize is that even if you pay your credit cards in full every month, and you should, you may still have a high ratio, which is hurting your score. Let's say you make $4,000 of charges throughout the month, you have a $5,000 limit, that's an 80% ratio. That's really high. We want you to keep it below 30% if you can. Below 10% would be even better.
So often you're going to find these analysts to say keep it under 30%. I don't even recommend. 30% is a lot. If you guys pay off your credit cards on time in full every single month, you're not going to see a 30% utilization. That's only how much you're using and not paying back. So if you guys actually want to keep a very low credit score, some of the things that they mention right here is that you can make an extra mid-month payment. That's where you pay off your credit card bill. Middle of the month, you just do that to actually reduce that utilization. But he's talking about how you should keep under 30%. So if you have $10,000, you want to make sure you're only using $3,000 of that. None of that matters if you're going to pay off that balance anyways. But a good way to combat this is one, either get a credit limit increase, or two, pay it off in full. 30% is not the goal you want to be at. You want to be at under 1, 2, or 3. 3% max. You want to be under a 3% max utilization, and that's when you'll see your score rise even more. Let's play the video.
So the solution, regardless of where you are on the credit or income spectrum, make an extra payment mid-month, knock that ratio down before the statement generates. That's going to help your score.
Not a bad technique. Some people will claim overpaying will also help your score. Guys, at the end of the day, if you pay off your current statement balance, not your current balance, your statement balance, your balance that you had the previous month, you'll be good. That's all you have to do. Just set up automatic payments. Your score will go up. You don't have to go out your way and do all these things unless you're really pressed about having an even higher score. The only times I say that should be acceptable is if you're applying for a new house and you know that every little percentage on your interest matters. But then again, you can always go to a credit union to refinance or just make an update on your financing or your interest plan at that bank if you know that your credit score is going to go up 10, 20, 30 points in the future. But there's usually a cap. I would say like around 720, 715 and above. After that, you're getting the same interest rate. Now, don't quote me on this because every institution is different, but generally this is what you're going to find. And when I actually bought my truck, this is the interest rates that they were working with. I had a 740, 750 score, and he told me, Brian, even if you had an 850 score, none of that matters. After a certain point, 710, 720, your interest rate can't get better than that. It just depends on what institution you go to that's going to offer you the best rate for whatever age you are and what you're trying to get the loan out for.
Okay.
So if I came to you and I said, Ted, what is the number one thing that I can do to get my score up right now? What's the first thing you tell me to do?
That's what I would do, is lower your credit utilization ratio. That's very actionable. Some of these other things, like paying your bills on time, great habit, you should do it. It's going to take time. The utilization ratio, lowering that will help you immediately. Another one, sign up for Experian Boost. This is a new experimental program. It's really geared towards people that have low credit, maybe no credit. That's a big deal with young adults these days. Establishing credit is hard. So Experian Boost looks at things that don't traditionally count as credit. Cell phone payments, utility payments.
Oh.
With your permission, they're going to look at your bank account. If you're making those payments on time, that can help your score. They say the average improvement is 13 points.
Does that cost any money?
It does not, and it's instant. So I would say look into that if your score is below 700, let's say.
Okay, so this guy is offering a pretty good option if you guys wanted to increase your score. And you guys need to realize that because he's associated with a different credit card issuer or the other issuers, everyone is working together at some point. And the thing with Experian Boost is that you are giving your full bank account password to another company. And let us not forget how many times there have been data breaches within Experian and within these other credit card bureaus. So this is something that you guys need to consider really if you really need a credit boost, because you are giving another company who has had issues in the past with privacy reasons, with security concerns, of giving them your full access bank account statements. They can see everything. So personally, me, I was told, Brian, we can increase your score completely for free. We'll increase it another 20 to 30 points. Will I say yes? Hell yes. No, I wouldn't. There's no way I would. It doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't gamble that, especially because they have that history. Now, if Experian was known to have a rock solid, they are on lockdown, the best hackers couldn't get in that. But hey, this is something I'm curious about. If any of you guys have ever done an Experian Boost before, please let the community know down below. How was your experience? Did it actually help your credit score a lot? I've never done it. I'm really curious to see what the public opinion is on that.
What are some of the popular credit card offers in 2020? Because most people don't realize, I mean, that credit card rates are so high. I mean, you've got rock bottom rates elsewhere, and yet a credit card company can charge you, what, 19%?
Yeah, the average is about 17% if you have good credit, about 25% if you have bad credit.
So people often don't realize this, but your interest rate is actually dependent on your credit score. So this is really that terminology. The poor gets poorer, and the rich get richer. If you already have a good credit score and maybe you can't pay off your credit card bill that month, you're not going to get the worst interest rate. But if you already have a lower score, they're going to give you the highest interest rate already possible just to keep people even lower. So it's really one of those things that I don't agree with just ethically. I feel like it should be flipped, opposite. I feel like if you're making more money, you make that mistake, maybe you should be paying more interest and not letting people who already have no money suffer even more. So when you guys apply for a new card, you'll see like a variable interest rate. It'll be like 13 to 30%. That spectrum is actually based on your credit score. It's really unfortunate. Keep in mind, just pay off your credit cards in full on time. Otherwise, you defeat the purpose of all the things I teach on this channel.
A very popular card is the Chase Sapphire Reserve.
The Chase Sapphire Reserve. We just made a video on that. Actually, every single YouTuber in the credit card space and their mothers have made a video on that.
And this one's been in the news this week because they just raised their annual fee from $450 to $550. I know it sounds steep, but this card is really beloved by many, especially millennial, young professional, urban types. It appeals to travelers.
This is one thing right now with this part of the interview that I'm really just skeptical about, because he could have named any card, like any actual like good card. The Chase Sapphire Reserve would be the last card that I would give publicity to. They just increased that annual fee. They have all of these benefits. He's getting told right now that they're going to ask him this question and he needs to promote this card. This is not the card that would be like the card of 2020. This is frankly right now one of the worst cards in my opinion because it costs you $550. Yes, you get a $300 annual travel credit. If you don't have TSA, yes, you get a $100 credit to that, even global access. Yes, you get airport lounge access, but they're not even listing the main benefits that people would get this card for. And that's actually the Ultimate Rewards portal boost of 50%. That's one reason. And the other would be the 3x that you get back. But the newly added Lyft and DoorDash perk, I know for some people, this card is now perfect for them. But other than this little circle of people, everyone else outside of that, they don't like this. I don't like this card. I don't know if I would get this card anymore. I was going to get it. I don't want to. So right now, this is basically an advertisement for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I recommend the Chase Freedom card if you guys are interested in a much better card in terms of having a lower annual fee, having more flexible options, not having to worry about traveling to recoup the benefits and the money you put into that card to get your investment back. The Chase Freedom is one of the best beginner credit cards out there. I will have a video attached somewhere. You guys can click a card at the end of the video and you will be able to find that. So let's continue this video.
So they give you a $300 a year travel credit. You get into a lot of airport lounges for free. There's other perks. Some of the new ones they introduced this week to go along with the higher fee are a $60 DoorDash credit, free Lyft Pink membership, which gives you discounts and priority access at airports. It's all about the experience these days. Some of the best credit cards are really tapping into people's love of travel, dining, ongoing value.
Yeah, I don't want to roast him.
Okay, what I want to know is, you're in the consumer credit card industry. Do you have any feeling as to whether or not consumer credit quality is getting better, worse, or holding the same?
That's a good question. Real quick.
We see credit scores going up. People are keeping up with their bills. Delinquencies are low. They're not getting ahead, though. 2/3 of credit card debtors owe at least as much now as they have over the past decade.
That's a good sign for the economy,
Yes,
by the
it
way.
is.
Ted, it's great to
This
get
is
your
not
I
insight.
just
Thank
love how
you.
like
Ted
quickly
Rossman.
they were ending. Like that lady was just shutting him up just to make sure they weren't going over time. But guys, that is really exactly the fastest way you guys can actually increase your credit score. This is aired on national TV. It really is a marathon of paying off your bill on time every month. You could speed things up by increasing your credit limit so it decreases your utilization. But at the end of the day, this is not rocket science. These type of videos have hundreds and thousands of views on YouTube. I don't think this video right here will get that much. Like, look, 2.3 million views on how to get an 800 credit score. And it's as simple as this. Pay off your credit card in full on time. If you guys want to like hack the system or like, now if you're someone who wants to like hack the system and you don't want to wait the whole year worth length of time for your score to increase, the easiest and fastest way for you guys to actually increase your credit score, look into authorized users, look into trade lines. I do not do any trade lines. I do not sell any authorized user accounts because so many people email me about this. I do not do that because I don't want to get my accounts shut down, which has happened to other YouTubers multiple times in this space. The hack or the